Hey there, my friends. My name's Barb Brimhall, also known as the BZB Stamper, and welcome to Step It Up Stamping. In this video, we're going to take one card idea and turn it into three, all with simple steps that anyone can try. Whether you're brand new to card making or just short on time like I am, you'll walk away with something that you love. At least I hope you will. Let's get stamping. Today, we are using the Impressions Abloom Bundle. This is actually one of our online exclusive products. And so I'm showing it to you in the Stampin' Up! Store so that you can see what comes with it. It's got a really nice stamp set. Let me see if I can get that right on camera. You can see here that it's got all these wonderful flowers and sentiments. And then it also comes, if you buy the bundle, it also comes with the dies. I love these two. I call them long circles. Of course, they're ovals. And then it's got all of the dies to cut out all of the flowers that you see in the stamp set. So a really, really fun bundle. And let me show you what I've made with this bundle. Let me switch my camera over. This is our first card. This is the envelope I did. And for this card, we have a white card base, and then we're using soft seafoam. That's the other piece of cardstock I have here. Garden green for the leaves, bubble bath for the flowers, and then I also did the thanks in garden green. And then Daffodil Delight, which I think just kind of brightens up the card for the inside of the flowers. So 3 ink pads. This is also known as a 2-step stamping set, which means that you can do the flower in one color, the inside in another color, and the leaves in a third color. They're all separate so that you can use them and build kind of like your own collage, if you will. 2-step stamping is my absolute favorite type of stamp set. I think I have every one Stampin' Up! Has ever made in the last 30 years. I don't know what that says about me, except that I love 2-step stamping. Okay, so that is our card that when you need a card in a hurry, you can make a ton of these thank you cards really quick and easy. Now, let's bring in our worker bee for if you want to step this up just one more level. The major difference in this card is the exposed brick. I'm going to try to get a good picture of that. The exposed brick embossing folder. Let me see if I can get that to, there we go. And then I did the same thing that I did in the Busy Bee, with the exception that the thanks is now up on its own little banner. The flower, the big flower that I brought in this time, was cut out with scissors. And I also cut out the 3 leaves. And those are just put on Stampin' Dimensionals to give it a little bit of height and depth. But the stamping is pretty much the same. Now, I think what really takes us up one more level, besides the embossing folder, are these beautiful strawberry slush, pretty in pink gems. They're just so striking in person. Can you see how they sparkle? They're just so, so pretty. I want to admit, I really don't want to admit, but I am going to admit that I did this entire card, the colors around these gems, because I wanted to use them. Okay, so that is our worker bee card. You ready for the queen bee? This is where we take it over the top a little bit. And this time we use the dies. Okay, I'm going to try to go step by step on how I did this card. We also have a complete set of instructions for you that will walk you step by step on how I made this card. So all of the flowers were cut out with the dies, same ink, bubble bath. Then I used Daffodil Delight to cut out the flower centers. So this time I just used cardstock instead of ink. And then I cut out the leaves from soft seafoam, which is the same that we used over here. But this time I also brought in garden green for a second set of leaves. And then lemon lolly cardstock for these small 5 flowers. Now, I want you to notice the soft seafoam. Let me bring soft seafoam in here. Let me bring it from the Busy Bee. See how much lighter the soft seafoam looks in this card than on the leaves? That is because, or even from the soft seafoam that I use behind the lattice, that is because I sponged garden green very, very lightly over the leaves just to give it some depth in those leaf veins. Very easy to do. You just have to remember that you want to use a very light hand, okay? Now, the instructions will have all the details on how I did this part here. It's so much easier than it looks, mainly because of the oval dies that come in the bundle. But basically, once I had cut out this oval, on the back side, I just took 1/4 inch strips of basic white cardstock and just latticed it, back and forth, and then layered that on some soft seafoam, and that became another base on the card. And then on this, I also embossed it. I'm trying to see what would be a better look. There you go. Very easy to do, mainly because of the dies. The dies make really quick work of this card. The hardest part, and it was not hard, trust me, is doing that lattice background. And they're not even, guys. It's kind of a trick of your eye that they look like I have them. Well, maybe it doesn't to you, but when I look at it, I think, wow, I really did those evenly. Well, the truth of the matter is I didn't, but it kind of tricks your eye because of everything else going on in this card. Isn't that fun? And then this is the inside of the card with the leaves stamped in garden green and the sentiment in garden green. And then I just added the strawberry slush pretty in pink gems because you got to have those on this card. Okay, so there you have it. We have our Busy Bee card. Like seriously, a 3-minute card. This card is ridiculously easy. And then we have the Worker Bee card where we step it up just a bit. Everything here is done with scissors. So if you don't have dies or the die cut machine, you don't need them. And then here you do need your die cut machine for the Queen Bee and also the dies. How fun is this card though? So what I'd love to know is which one is your favorite and which one would you be most likely to make? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget that you can find the link to the instructions. If you're on Facebook, it'll be above. If you're on YouTube, it'll be below. And check out how to make all 3 of these cards. All right, my friends, I'll see you next week for another Step It Up Stamping. Thanks so much for joining me today. Bye.